Hello! Welcome to Ivanna's Norsk life. If you have searched for a job in Norway, probably you have seen that many of the opened vacancies or listed vacancies on the internet, they don't have any information on the salary. Only those related to PhD or like very government related positions actually has something stated, or like what is the starting point for them. But in reality, all other positions, they don't have information about salary. So today we will talk about salary statistics in Norway and why this information it is not written on their open vacancies. So I hope that you're interested to know what is the average salary in Norway, what is the difference between male and female with respect to the salary, what are different types of groups of the salary, and so on. And the next time we will talk about taxes. So if you don't want to miss this information, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you will get notification when new video is out. Let's start the vlog. So let's start with the first part. Why so many openings or open vacant positions don't have information about salary? For those who haven't watched any of my videos and is new, let me explain that not so long time ago, a bit over 1.5 months ago, I started at a new job, and everything related to the search of a new job and application process and so on, I was publishing based on my experience, and you can see many videos about that. And today I want to explain that actually when I was searching for a job, I was not concerned about salary at all. And this is very interesting. Comparing to Ukraine, in Ukraine, like every singular position that you have on the internet most likely will have information about salary that you will be getting, or like at least what is the starting point and so on. In United States, I've seen quite similar, but in Norway, you don't have this information. Why? And the reason is because in Norway, the salary is specifically tailored to the experience and background of each person who is getting a job. What it means that, for instance, the salary as a data scientist that I'm getting, most likely it's not the same salary as if you would be at the same company you would get. In Norway, it is very common that we don't ask each other about salary. So which salary do I have or something like that. And for instance, in my company, I have no clue about other salaries than mine. I only know what I'm earning and I don't know what other people are earning. And even if you're on the same position in the same company, it doesn't mean that we will be getting the same salary. And this is the reason why. Each person has its own path in their life. And some people spend more time in the education. Other people prefer going and working in the company and getting this experience. And it doesn't matter which of the paths you are gonna choose. Anyway, it will lead you to a completely different salaries. For instance, it is very known tactic first to get a higher salary at your current job, and then after that leave to another job, so you will have a bit better conditions comparing to the other people. So for instance, if you're thinking that you want to change a job, first you need to get raise in your salary, and then you go for another job. So it's like very well-known tactic in Norway. And therefore, can you imagine, you come to the negotiation point with your future employer and you have your last salary as a starting point. So this is very typical. Of course, when you are coming only from the university, then level of your education will be your starting point, right? So let's start first with the education level, and all statistics that I will show you today, it is from their official Norwegian website as ssb.no. It's Statistic Central Bureau, Statistics Norway. So all of the information is from there and not from some random articles. So and even if I use some articles, all information is based from this site, and you will see the links in the description below. So let's start. The first one that I want to show you, it's about an average monthly salary before tax. So everything that I'm showing is before tax, unless I'm saying that it's after tax. And it is separately for men and women, depending on their education. And let's talk what it means. Like the first one, it's university or university colleges with their from 1 to 4 years of study, and it means that mainly it is bachelors. And then unfortunately this actually link I cannot translate to English. They don't have this option, so I will be explaining to you myself. And then we have a different domains and corresponding salaries for men and women for the newly educated with less than 5 years of the experience after education. And another one is when you have 5 or more years of the experience after education. So then, as we can see, for instance, for the men and women, in general, after bachelor level, the salary for men is slightly higher than for women. And unfortunately, in Norway, on all of the statistics that I have seen, and you will see today as well, it's actually true that the men in average always, men in average earn more money than women. And if you will see here, it is different types of the domains and which salaries you could be getting in those domains. As you can see, actually having 5+ years of experience can lead to really like 40% of the increase in your salary. So the experience after education is extremely important. And this one is, for instance, economic and administrative domain with the salary of 35,590 kroners per month before tax. And after 5 years, it's 60,920 kroners per month before the tax. And if you will look on the same information for the university or for the university or university college education for 4+ years of study, it's I think like PhDs, masters will be there. So it's like this more for bachelors, and this one is more for masters. And if even we look on the same domain as economics and administrative, then we can see that actually even for men, the difference between men and women is not a bit actually, yeah, it's a bit larger comparing to the bachelors, but it's not even the point. The point is that if the salary was in average 51,310, then for just having a higher education, you will have an average of 5,000 more. And if you compare like bachelor and masters, so we can see that for bachelors it was for men 35,590 kroners before tax, and after completing masters you will have 47,460 kroners a month. So I hope that you can see now that the difference in the education, how education actually impacting, and at the same time you can see how in addition to the education, the experience also impacting. Because if we look on the master level education, we can see that it's 20,000 kroners per month more. So if you think about here, it is 140,000 kroners a year more before tax that you can earn just when you have master's plus experience. And even if you compare the bachelor's plus 5 years or more experience, you can see that the average salary is still like 8,000 Norwegian kroners less. But then the question is, do you actually need to have a master's degree? And if this salary is actually, or like this increase in salary is so valuable to you? Because in the future, I will talk about taxes in the future video, in the next coming one. And then you can ask yourself a question, do you actually need this increase? And comparing that Norwegians, they take loan for studying, so it means that they will need to pay back, and then this increases it actually worth of going into masters, and it's another thing to think about. But now let's go from the education to the next point. Let's make it in English. It is just generally about salary in Norway for different sectors, like comparing the private and public sectors for males and females in average, again before the tax. So as you can see, for the in average, the salary in average, so it's not a median, it's average, and it's not slightly correct, and I will show you what is the problem and why we actually shouldn't trust average that much. But for now, let's look that while in average in 2020, males were earning 51,630 kroners per month before tax, the females' average salary is 45,190 Norwegian kroners before tax. It's not a good news for me, but I think it's a good news for male representatives who are watching me. So it looks like in Norway you will be earning more than women. I hope it's gonna change with time, but this is the reality we live in now. If we talk about private sector and public enterprises, so we can see that the actually average salary, it's not that far away from the for all sectors, and it's about 51,720 Norwegian kroners for males and 44,840 Norwegian kroners for females. But if you look on the government level, actually in local government, it's like municipalities like Gjøvik, or so it's like a more local level, we can see that the salary is significantly less comparing to the private sector. If you look on the central government level, actually salaries are much higher for males, and the difference between the females and males, it's extreme. It's really large. So this is the information about how average monthly earnings by sector and sex is in Norway per 2020. And remember that I was telling you about this average salary in Norway, that you shouldn't trust the number, and the reason is why you shouldn't do so is because that if we look on the average salary, and it was stated, let's go back, it was stated like 48,750 Norwegian kroners for all sectors in average. And then let's look on the distribution of the salaries divided like into 10 buckets. And as we can see that actually we have one bucket that is extremely large, where we have people who earn almost 100,000 kroners per month before tax. It's like 96,650. And then we of course have some people who are earning like extremely small amount of money before tax. So then if we trust the average that the SSB showed us, it's somewhere in this area. And as you can see, it's a bit skewed, and we also can say that these representatives, people who has salary around 100,000 Norwegian kroners, they are driving up the average salary in Norway. That not necessarily is true, and that's why median salary that is around 44,000 per month before tax, it's more correct number to use as a reference point. So just to make sure that you get this part. Let's go to the next one. It is about earning per month. So also imagine that this is monthly earnings before tax. So if you want to know like yearly, just multiply it by 12 and then you will know the salary that you could use for discussion or negotiation, or like to set your expectation at some level. The salary for the monthly earnings by level of education, right? And depending on the domain, we can look in English now. So for the general subjects, the salary is not that high. For humanities and arts, it is 45,260 Norwegian kroners. For teacher training and pedagogy, it's 45,830 Norwegian kroners. So in average before tax. And this is like an average for everyone, no matter of education level. And then for social science and law, it's about 50,380 Norwegian kroners. For business and administration, it's 48,690 Norwegian kroners. For natural science, vocational and technical subjects, 49,000. For health, welfare and sport, it is 44,300 Norwegian kroners. For primary industries, it is 42,510 Norwegian kroners. And for transport and communication, safety and security and other services, it is 45,580 Norwegian kroners before tax. And other domains, it's about 35,880 Norwegian kroners. So as you can see, actually the deviation is not that large, but then we will go a bit more into different, more specific types of jobs, and you will be surprised to see the numbers, how different salaries are there. I was shocked myself. But when we look on that, if you have an education like from 0 to 4, it is a bachelor level education. This is what actually scares me. It's like if we talk about general subjects, then the salary is about 26,490 Norwegian kroners per month before tax. That is like really not high. This is very close to to one of the lowest salaries levels in Norway, and I don't think that it's, especially if we look on the salary for the teacher training and pedagogy, or like natural sciences, vocational and teaching subjects, education, it's like, come on, it's like almost twice, not twice, but like 40% more. It's a huge difference. So this is what is interesting. But if you go a bit at least on the more education, so if you have master's or higher, then actually at least the salary for the same domains looks a bit better. And but still, comparing how much effort you put, it's like a bit better, especially if to think about taxes that will come on top. It is like, oops. So this is also quite interesting information from my perspective.